Morning, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Okay, good. So let's start. My name is Gauhar, and I'm a partner of Global Intellect Service. Before we start, I would appreciate if you put your phone on silent and write down all your questions on the paper. And after that, we'll be glad to answer all of them after the presentation. Thank you for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate to have you here. And we're telling big thanks for MRCA for having us here. So today you'll be the first one who is going to get to know about unique and comprehensive marketing solution for your business. And believe me, it doesn't look similar for the other technology in the world what we're having at this time. And today our first speaker is going to be ZARA KAGAN. She has 4 years of marketing experience in hotel line and F&B industry in Malaysia. At the same time, she is doing her PhD in digital marketing and she is conducting teachers. Today her topic will be about latest trend in marketing and who are the main consumers in new digital age. Please welcome Sarah.
As Gauhar mentioned, my name is Zara, and good morning to everyone. I'm very glad to see everyone here today. And I want to give you some brief information on the marketing trend which are popular in 2017 and who are basically our target consumers nowadays. Alright, as Gauhar mentioned, I'm doing my PhD, I'm doing lectures at the same time. That's why I need to observe and I need to study a lot of marketing literature. And not only from the marketers, from psychologists as well. And because everyone nowadays should to understand how to adapt the business to the needs of current generation. Because in a 2 to 3 years time, the main consumers, 60% of the main consumers will be millennials. So that's why we need to understand who are basically millennials are. Millennials are people who were born from 1980s to 2000. Can you raise your hand, those people who were born during this period of time? Okay, good. I'm millennial myself as well. And you know, when I was studying the different articles, I found one, and there was information on how the marketing strategy was adopted to baby boomers. Do you know who baby boomers are? Baby boomers were people who were born after the Second World War. So basically, it's a period of time from 1945 to 1960s. And you know, it's basically the highest rate of birth in the history during this period of time. So companies who was monitoring the trends, they noticed the trends, and as there were a lot of kids born, for example, Procter & Gamble companies start to produce a lot of goods for kids, like baby food, I don't know, supplements, Pampers. And as these kids were growing, the company was growing with them. That's how they start to produce some goods for the kindergarten and schools. And basically, that's how this company became quite successful and sustainable on the markets. And how they reach it? Just simply following people's needs. After baby boomers, there was Generation X, from 1960s to 1980s. Can you raise your hand who is from Generation X here? Alright, wonderful. And after Generation X, as I mentioned before, came Generation Y, known as millennials. Basically, you know, this generation even been called by Time magazine mini-me generation. Why? And what this generation is all about. Millennials are very self-centered. We like to brand ourselves through our personal accounts in Instagram or Facebook. And I believe even like term selfie came up to our lives only a few years ago, and it's like everywhere nowadays. And that's why companies who noticed this trend before, they adjusted their marketing strategy into personalized marketing strategy. I'll give you one example. You know Coca-Cola. Do you remember the time when they was producing these cans and bottles with the names on it? And some hashtag like Aban, Kaka. That's how they managed to engage their consumers much more. Because nowadays, consumers want to be engaged with the brands. And for example, if 20 years ago, like the strategy of giving 20% discount to all consumers was a quite successful strategy and was attracting a lot of attention from the consumers, nowadays, unfortunately or fortunately, it doesn't work because mass marketing is not working anymore. Now consumers want to be targeted individually. And that's actually define our marketing trend number one, personalization. Personalization means segmenting your content to reach different types of consumers based on their preferences and different lifestyles. Because nowadays, everyone being overdosed with information and advertisement. That's why targeting consumers on the individual level is a huge win for the brands in order to gain consumers' attention. But how to make customer approach individual if you simply don't know who your consumers are? Because nowadays it's not good enough to know your target or focus groups only. What about knowing every single customer that your company has? That's how we are moving to our second trend, which we call 360-degree customer view. Basically, the 360-degree customer view is a concept when companies can get the complete information and view of customers by getting the data from the different touch points. Such as, for example, when customers are contacting the company or purchasing the products and then gaining some post-service or post-support. But how to get this 360-degree customer view? Now we are moving to our third trend, big data. The term big data doesn't just refer to data itself because it also refers to sorting and analyzing such data. You know, some marketers claim that data was always big, but hello. Nowadays we are talking about data from online purchase, we are talking about click-through rates, browsing behavior, social media interactions, we are talking about like geolocation and many more. But using big data and integrating big data into your marketing strategy really helps companies to have a very great impact in such key areas as customer engagement and customer retention and loyalty. Because now you basically know your customers. Alright, let's move forward. Nowadays, hard sales doesn't really work anymore. I will give you a very personal example. Like, you know, when I'm coming to some cosmetic shop and I will be following by assistant in a very pushy way who will be telling me about all the goods and company and everything like that. Like nowadays I will be more irritated than satisfied because when I come to the shop I already know what I want to buy. I already heard about this from some influencers or some bloggers and I already basically made my purchase decision. That's how we are moving to our next trend, influencer marketing. Influencer marketing nowadays is on the rise because consumers and people nowadays, they tend to trust recommendations from the people whom they perceive as their thought leaders, opinion leaders in the industry. And the right influencers basically are building a very good credibility to the company because they collaborating with the companies because they generally believe in the company. And this trust is passed on to the consumers. So, would you agree with me that for company, in order to be successful on the market, they need to adapt to customer needs? This is basic, right? You agree with me? Alright. So, how to do so? Companies nowadays really need to understand millennials' needs. Because as I mentioned to you, in a 2 to 3 years' time, 60% of consumers will be millennials. And even nowadays, we are talking about 2 billion people. A lot. So, who are millennials and what are their beliefs and values? Alright. Millennials were raised in a very digital world. We are using technology, we are always online. Without internet, we are basically helpless. I will tell you a very, very, very simple example. Like 2 days ago, I lost my phone. And you know what happened? I realized that I cannot drive because I don't have my Waze. And I couldn't get my taxi because I couldn't use my Uber application. And I even couldn't call my friends to ask them for help because I couldn't reach them. So what happened? I got my new phone just the same day because I couldn't function without my phone, literally. And even now I'm using my phone to have a look on the different points in order not to forget to mention them during this presentation. Alright, let's basically also compare our morning like 10 years ago and nowadays. Again, I will be talking about my personal example. 10 years ago when I woke up, I would have my shower, then I would get my coffee, like this. What I do now, I will switch off my alarm on my phone itself. Then I will start to check my WhatsApp notifications to see whether some of my family members or my friends wrote something to me. Then I will check my emails through my mobile phone as well in order to check whether there is something urgent in my work. And after that, definitely social media, something like Instagram or Facebook. That's how we are basically moving to our next trend, which we are calling mobile marketing. Internet traffic is now coming more from the mobile phones comparing from the desktops of your computers. And if companies nowadays are not using opportunity to give their content or ads through the mobile phones, they are losing the big opportunities to reach their consumers. Do you remember 10 years ago, Bill Gates mentioned that if your business doesn't exist in the internet, your business doesn't exist. But nowadays, we are following Dave Lewis, who is a CEO of Tesco, and he once mentioned that nowadays the main aim of the retailers is to get into their customer pockets through their mobile phone. And it's true. Okay, talking more about the millennials' values and beliefs. Let's compare priorities of previous generation and ours. Like for example, even my parents, their priorities was to get a good house, purchase the good car, and have a quite sustainable work. For example, my mom, she's working in one company for like last 18 years. That was the main aim for them. But nowadays, it's not really priorities for millennials. Millennials want to be mobile, they want to be free. Like for example, nowadays, if I decide so, I can just pack my things and I can just simply move to other country by booking the air tickets online and renting some apartment through Airbnb. And it will take me only 2 minutes. And voila, I'm in the new country already. The moment I will be there in the airport, the only thing I need to do, I order my taxi in the Uber, I reach my new apartment, I order some food through mobile phone or internet itself, because I still don't know the places there yet. After that, using my social media, I can find my new friends there and my contacts. And I can start my new life and have my new experience in new country like this. That's why millennials nowadays are creative, they are free, and they are looking for experience. That's why marketing people, when they are doing their marketing strategies, they should understand all these values. You know that 73% of millennials nowadays, they are checking reviews, feedbacks from other people on the goods and companies they want to try. And 60% of millennials themselves are leaving these feedbacks and reviews. Nowadays, millennials already know everything about your company and product even before stepping to your store. Because they've been told about this already by bloggers, by influencers, by other users who already tried it through their feedbacks and reviews. Another statistic showed to us that millennials doesn't really trust to conventional advertising anymore. And if your advertisement looks like a pure advertisement, there is a higher rate that they will just skip it. However, if there is some valuable content for them, they are going to stay and check it out. That's how we are moving to our trend number 6, which we call content marketing. Content marketing is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing some valuable and relevant contents, such as videos, blogs, and some social media posts. But it doesn't promote your company like openly. However, it draws interest for your company and your product among your consumers. I'll give you one very simple example. I think you should remember that. You know, when you're watching videos on YouTube, before the video will start, there will be some short ads, right? Do you remember the ads from Maggi, Masak Kitchen, when they were giving the recipes to cook? I personally really love it. And if, for example, I was not using much Maggi products before, now I will, because I'm cook lover and I want to try to do these recipes. So that's how I will buy 1 or 2 products from Maggi brand for sure. Companies should show to millennials nowadays that they are bringing the value and experience to them. Nowadays, millennials, they more want to collaborate and be engaged with the brands rather than just simply buy from them, how it was like even 10 to 20 years ago. And even the academic researchers in marketing studies, they prove that there has been a shift in marketing paradigms from transactional marketing to relationship marketing. That's why nowadays companies should build relationship with their consumers. And based on this relationship, your consumers will defend your company. They will become the evangelist for your brand. You know that evangelism sounds slightly religious. However, when we are talking about marketing, it shows us a concept or advanced form of word of mouth when customers believe in your company or your product so much that they start to convince others to buy from you. Right. Very simple example. I believe everyone saw it at least once in their life. You know, these users, iPhone users and Samsung users. All these battles where the camera is bad in iPhone, but battery is bad in Samsung, the interface is bad in iPhone, and etc. And it's very difficult to convince these people that no, I have the other opinion. And yes, by the way, when I purchased my phone, it definitely was iPhone because I'm an iPhone camp. Same basically happens to the car industry. I'll give you a simple example of like Mercedes and BMW. Because Mercedes been convinced, consumers convinced everyone that Mercedes is basically a luxurious car and it's very comfortable. However, those who are using BMW telling everyone that this is the most powerful and the fastest car in the world. That's, in my conclusion now, I just want to emphasize that it's very important for the company to build relationship with your customers nowadays. Because companies need to make them loyal. And in return, your customers will be loyal to you. They will defend your brand. And as a result, your company will have success and sustainability. That's all what I basically wanted to share with you today. That was my main topic. If you will have any questions, I will be glad to answer after that. Thank you very much for your kind attention.